Huh? Hey, Sword Knight, what's with all that rocket fuel?
Well, you see, I'm just trying to get all the rocket fuel to boot up the whole bird again so we could take over Dreamland with Meta Knight.
Ah. Wait, what? Hey guys, MeteorZ XP's here, and I want to discuss about this one misconception on whether Meta Knight is a villain or not. Now, to an outsider from my experience, people usually say, oh, Meta Knight, yeah, he's totally a villain. I mean, look, he looks like a villain, and in the recent Super Smash Bros. King K. Rool reveal, I mean, you see like these pictures of villains fighting heroes, and Meta Knight's there fighting Kirby, and he's clearly a villain, right? No. No, of course, if you're a hardcore Kirby fan, you know that Meta Knight's not a villain. I mean, he helps out Kirby a lot in the games, and even in the anime, which is a separate universe, he pretty much serves the same purpose. He kinda acts like Kirby's mentor figure. Now, this video is mostly for the people who don't really know much about Kirby and Meta Knight, you know, the whole context between their battles, because people usually label Meta Knight as a villain to my experience because he fights Kirby. But again, it's all about the context, which I'm going to get to right now! No, of course, we'll be starting with his first appearance, which is the NES game Kirby's Adventure, and its remake. For the Game Boy Advance, and now I'm gonna summarize the story of the games. So one day, everybody just stopped dreaming, because the main source of their dreams, the Star Rod in the Fountain of Dreams, was broken by King Dedede. King Dedede pretty much broke the Star Rod and gave the pieces to his friends. And Kirby decides to make it his task to find all the pieces of the Star Rod, put it together, put in the Fountain of Dreams, then mission accomplished. Except Dedede actually did that for a good reason. You see, there's this evil wizard named Nightmare who is about to get unleashed. So, you know, Dedede decides to break the Star Rod pieces to solve the problem. Pretty much the equivalent of putting a finger through a gun just to prevent the bullet from coming out. But let's face the facts, that's probably gonna cause another problem. Now I know what you're thinking. Where does Meta Knight fit into all of this? Well, you see, like I said, this is his first appearance as a boss battle. But we actually first see him in one of the levels in the game. Now, what does he do in this level? Well, he actually gives Kirby an invincibility candy. Yeah, he actually helps you out, but he also fights you at the same time, and also has his own army fight you at some parts in the game. Which kinda gives me the impression that he's probably training Kirby somewhat. And yeah, the intro said that Dedede gave the Star Rod pieces to his friends to prevent Kirby from getting the Star Rod pieces and putting it in the Fountain of Dreams and unleashing Nightmare, but I see Meta Knight helping out Kirby kind of a way of saying that he wants him to succeed in his journey, but he'll be fighting him at the same time just so he could prepare him for the worst, which is Nightmare. And yeah, this serves as somewhat as a mentor role, just like what I said earlier when I was talking about the anime a bit. But I think that's all for Kirby's Adventure Nightmare in Dreamland. Let's move on to a second appearance from Kirby's Superstar, or Kirby Superstar Ultra, the remake. And let's just say, this is probably his most famous appearance. I mean, this game set a new standard when it came to the Kirby franchise, when it came to its controls, but I'm not talking about that here. I'm talking about Meta Knight, and yeah, this is the game where the Hellbird first appears. Meta Knight's his famous battleship. And yes, Meta Knight does act villainous, trying to take over Dreamland and get rid of its lazy lifestyle or something. But to be fair, Dreamland does have a really crappy king. I mean, he can't even afford his own food. But you know what? I'll bite, because in the original Kirby Superstar, Meta Knight does indeed say, "Kirby, this is it. Prepare to die." Which, yeah, is a, villainous thing to say. Except for the fact that this is actually a mistranslation on the English version. And according to some sources I looked up, in the Japanese version, he's just trying to train Kirby, I guess. I'm not sure if that's even true. And in Kirby Superstar Ultra, he does say instead, "This is the end, Kirby. Come meet your doom." Which still sounds like a villain. Well, at least he's not threatening to kill him, I guess. Even though "come meet your doom" is still pretty threatening. But you know what? Maybe he didn't say that in the original Japanese version. I don't know. I mean, I asked MeteorZ if he knew back in the Kirby Amino, but even he's kinda on the unknown with this. He just told me it's probably similar to what he said in Kirby Superstar Ultra. And I tried to look up other sources on what he actually said in the Japanese version, and really got no such luck since most of the sources I see usually says many different things, and I don't know which ones are true and which ones are not. If anyone could tell me what he actually says in the Japanese version, that would be great. Maybe everything from Kirby Superstar Ultra is exactly what the Japanese version said. But again, I am unsure about this. So yeah, overall, Meta Knight is a villain in Kirby Superstar, I guess. So that means he must be a villain overall, right? Kinda like Mario from Donkey Kong Jr. No, yes, Mario's a protagonist, and Meta Knight is probably like a side character at best, but the thing is, in the previous game, it was already established that he was supposed to be some sort of mentor, so I'm honestly kinda confused what the direction of Revenge of Meta Knight was. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty awesome mode in the game. It's probably the best part of the game in my opinion. I mean, what is his revenge directed to? Dreamland? Which is probably the most logical conclusion since he's trying to end its lazy lifestyle and stuff, so it's probably on Dreamland most likely. I was also gonna say maybe it's directed towards Kirby, but no, that can't be the case, because in the previous game, he kinda seemed like he wants Kirby to beat him, so he could be ready. Or maybe it's because he broke his mask, and he's still salty about that. I don't know. It's probably directed to Dreamland, like I said. And let's not forget to mention that in the other games, he never really does anything villainous afterwards. And even if he does, it's because he's possessed by some other entity. But we'll get to those getting possessed part later. First we'll get to Kirby and the Amazing Mirrors, where instead of getting possessed, he basically gets beaten by Dark Meta Knight and gets trapped inside the Mirror World. And how Meta Knight even got into this predicament is because Meta Knight was trying to protect Dreamland from some evil entity from the Mirror World. Yeah, it's kind of an odd transition trying to take over Dreamland from protecting it, but I guess back then they didn't really knew what to make Meta Knight. Yeah, it was a simpler time, alright? And pretty much in the final boss, you'll get this revealed that Dark Meta Knight was posing as Meta Knight, and the real Meta Knight pretty much helps you out in the final boss by giving you his Galaxia Sword, or as it's called in this game, the Master's Sword, which is kind of odd, but whatever. So yeah, that's yet another time Meta Knight helps out Kirby. Now, Kirby Squeak Squad is kind of a different case where instead of getting possessed or have like an evil body double, instead he's pretty much trying to protect Dreamland from Kirby's naiveness. Pretty much like Kirby's adventure. Except Meta Knight seems hell-bent to not have Kirby succeed in here whatsoever. Okay, long story short, Kirby was eating a strawberry shortcake one day and it gets stolen, and he assumes that King Dedede stole it, but then it was revealed that he didn't really, and then the Squeak Squad comes in with the treasure chest and he just assumes that, oh, my cake is in that treasure chest. So he goes through a journey to get that treasure chest, and then Meta Knight out of nowhere comes in and steals the treasure chest, but then it was revealed that the treasure chest this whole time had some ancient evil inside that was trying to keep inside. So, yet again, Meta Knight still protects Dreamland again. Woo! And that's pretty much all the noteworthy Meta Knight vs. Kirby battles. All the other times, Meta Knight's pretty much possessed, just like in Kirby's Epic Yarn, Planet Robobot, and the recent game, Star Allies. And in all of those games, he pretty much teams up with Kirby afterwards. Or, even in Returns to Dreamland, never even fights Kirby at all and just straight up help him out. And sure, he still had that one act of villainy that still makes this pretty debatable. But you know what? In my perspective, Meta Knight is not a villain. Antagonist at worst, but Kirby's greatest ally at best. And I just want to thank everyone for watching the video till the end. This video would have been finished much earlier if it wasn't for me getting sick in the middle of making this video. Yeah, I couldn't really do any recording during that time. And trust me, you guys don't want to hear my scratchy ass voice while I was sick. And there was this other video project I wanted to finish probably yesterday, but I didn't got started because I was in the middle of making this video, so I had to delay that other video project. But I'm honestly glad that project was delayed because I honestly think I need a better perspective on the subject that I was talking about. You guys might figure it out next month or hell maybe next year. We'll find out when I finish that video project. But I digress. Thank you all for watching. All the clips I used here belongs to the retrospective content creators. I'll put their links on the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Thank you all. MeteorZ Beats out!